Hey guys, so this week in Algebra 2 we are going to be talking about solving systems of equations. So we've been solving a lot of equations, but a system of equations is more than one. It's two or more equations, and we are trying to find a solution to both of them. Okay, so here's what a question might look like. Solve the following system of equations by graphing. And you see we have two equations in two variables. So there's an x and there's a y. And before we dig into this example, what I want to show you is that the answer to the system is an ordered pair, x, y, that's true for both equations. So when you get your answer and you have a number for x and a number for y, you could plug them in to each of these equations and they should be true equations. Okay, I'm really excited to show you how to do this using our new calculators. So when you get your calculator on, we're going to open up a new document. So if you just hit the number 1 for new document. And again, the question said by graphing, and there's a lot of ways to solve these, but we're going to do this one by graphing. So I want you to add a graph page, which is number 2. Okay, so the calculator uses function notation, and we're going to talk about that a lot in the future, but not today. So I want you to hit the delete button, and when you do that, this menu pops up. Go ahead and just hit number 6 for relation. And this feature is new to these calculators, and it allows you to type in the equation in whatever way it's given to you. You don't have to solve for y or get it to look like a certain form. You can just type it in how you see it. Okay, so the problem that we had said y equals 2x plus 7. So you just type that in, and the equals button is underneath control. It's not the enter, but it's the equal sign underneath the control button. When you hit enter, it graphs that line. Might be a different color on your calculator. For us, it's blue. Okay, now we have to put the other equation in. The shortcut to do that is the tab button. So if you hit tab, it automatically takes you to the next line. If you needed to fix something in your first equation, you would just hit the up arrow and it'll take you to that first equation. Okay, our next one was y equals -1/2. And so remember, control divide will give you a pretty fraction template. 1/2. Make sure that when you type the x in that it's not in that denominator. It's okay if it's in the numerator, but I like to see it sitting out next to it, just like it looked in the problem. So -1/2x plus 2 is the other one. We hit enter and we have our next line. Now remember, I told you that the answer to the system is an ordered pair that's true for both equations. So in other words, I need a point that's on both lines. And there's only one place that happens. And it looks like that it's probably at -2, 3. So it's the point where those cross, where those lines intersect. And wouldn't it be nice if the calculator would just tell me that? And these calculators actually do. So if you hit the menu button, and then we want to analyze this graph. Okay, we're wanting to find out more information about our graph, so we're going to analyze the graph. Number 6. And then if you look down the list, number 4 is intersection. It even kind of gives you a picture so you know what you're looking at. Okay, now this part's a little bit tricky. If we had a bunch of lines on here, the calculator would need us to tell it what intersection that we're talking about. It's obvious for us because we only have one point of intersection, but it's possible to have more than one. So here's the kind of key command to get this. It's just wanting you to highlight it. So when it says lower bound, I want you to find that point, go to the left of it, click left, and you click by the center touchpad button. So for you guys, that's over here. Click left, drag right. So just on that touchpad, you're going to drag to the right, and then you can click again on the other side. Click left, drag right, and you can see that it already puts up the answer. -2, 3, so we were right. And that's the answer. That's the answer to the system. If you plugged in -2 for x and 3 for y to this equation, it would be, you'd get a number equals same number. Same thing for the red line. If you plugged in x and y, the equation would be equal. Okay, doing exactly what I just did, I'm gonna give you another example for you to try. I want you to pause the video, get your calculator out, try to follow all of those steps. If you need to rewind it and see the steps again, you can. But I want to see if you can get this one on your own. And then when you're ready, play the video again and we'll go over how to do this one. Okay, so hopefully you have had time to try that. One thing, we need to clear all this out. There's different ways that you can do that. If you wanted to leave it all there, so maybe you could show your teacher the work that you did, one thing to do is add a page. So if you see above the doc button, there's plus page. So if you do Control plus page, it gives you a whole new page. So you do graph, and then we'll just hit backspace again, relation, and it goes, like the other ones are still in there, but it's just not showing them. If we wanted to see them, we could go over to the first page, and they're all still there. Okay, so let's type that in. And again, since we're in relation mode, we don't have to have it in any particular form, so we'll just leave it the way that they had it. So, oops. 3x plus 4y equals 26. Enter. And then we hit tab and type in the next one. Alright, and so our answer should be that point of intersection. We find that by saying menu, analyze graph, intersection, click left, drag right. Our answer is 6, 2. I hope that was kind of fun for you guys to figure that out on the calculator. We will talk about how to do these algebraically by hand, and then I'll show you a super easy way on the calculator in a couple days.